What's going on? I'm Whit, today wearing the Boulder Odyssey 45. More on that later, but right now we're going to unbox this brand new dive watch from Imperial Watch Company, soon to be released, the Royalguard 200. Oh, it's got another box in there, so I didn't have to open that big one in front of you. But oh well, I always try and just keep it real, you know. All right, it's a love letter from me. The nest continues. Ah, cool logo, huh? Now, this case is not included to the best of my knowledge. You'll have to check the website to see what is included with the watch. I know this was just for this prototype to be sent out with the for reviewers, but I do know that you get a microfiber cloth like this with that Imperial Watch logo. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way. You ready? Ha ha ha! Wow. Oh yeah, that looks even better in person than I thought. Look at that crystal. Oh, that's so cool. You know I'm a big fan of crystal distortions. And this one's got all kinds of funky stuff going on. And that heavy blue AR coating, you see that there? Man, that's beautiful. So this is the Imperial Watch Company Royalguard 200, and obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, actually, because to be truthful, I wasn't as familiar with the brand. This takes a lot of inspiration from the Eberhard Scaphograph 300, and I can tell you that, I mean, obviously it was just a huge inspiration because this watch is very different. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's do a little walk around. So we've got complete 316L stainless steel case and bracelet, and love that side polish. And then you see on the bracelet brushing down the middle link and high polish on the ends there. I like this contrast here with that high polish separating the end link from the lugs. That's kind of interesting. You don't see a lot of that. It just lends itself to a complete disregard of integration. Looks like almost purposeful, though. I mean, I love the way that line flows right up to the dial. That's beautiful. So you see that radial brushing there on the top of the lugs, and we've got horizontal brushing mid-case. Look at that bezel. Nice coin edge to it. Drilled lugs. And this bezel is a faded blue-gray aluminum insert, which gets you that great vintage look to match this vintage dial, and along with the crystal. Man, look how clean that crystal is. That is super crisp. Oh, I dig that. And right away we can notice that jet black dial with the gilt handset and printed indices and dial. Got the vintage Swiss lume going on here, which has that nice cream color, but emits green luminescence. So I'll show you a lume shot here in a little while. And man, I want to see that handset more. So the original watch, again, this is not really an homage. So I'm just saying the original for the purpose of, you know, definition. But it had this arrow pointer on the hour hand instead of the minute hand. So here it's the minute hand. And I stumbled because, look, as I was cruising around, check that out. So check out this minute hand as it drifts right over the 3 o'clock spot. And look at that. It looks like the seconds hand does the same thing. Here we go. Oh, that's too slick. There's a better angle. Yeah, it's hard for me to get it. I don't know if they're not all matching up or if it's this crystal playing with us because of that distortion. Either way, look, I mean, that's pretty slick. Love it. And then that Imperial Watch Company logo, that's got a nice slant to it. Again, much like the watch that this took inspiration from. Man, I love that chapter ring, the way the lines come all the way out from the edge of the riot, which we can't even really see. There it is. It's a steep riot from that crystal distortion. But Then when those lines play with that, it just emphasizes it even more. Oh, that's awesome. Great looking handset too, huh? Look at that. See that brightness? You see the bracelet has a pretty aggressive taper down to the clasp. I'll take a measurement of that in just a little while here. And then on the clasp, you've got a signature, the logo rather, on the fold-over safety part of the latch. And double push-button release. Fully milled scissor mechanism. And 4 micro adjusts. And let's look at the case back. Nice, clean, simple design there. Imperial Watch Co. With their Imperial Crown logo on the center and automatic. Screw down case back, and you saw earlier was screw down crown too, which is also signed with the Crown logo. 200 meters of water resistance. Well, let's measure up. I know because I'm holding it that this is a smaller watch. You probably haven't gathered that yet, so let's see what our measurements are. 37 millimeters for the diameter, 47.1 millimeters lug to lug, lug width of 20 millimeters, and like I promised, that heads down to about 16 millimeters at the clasp. And the case thickness is 14.1 millimeters. So yeah, for a small watch, it's got a little chunk to it. But look where most of that comes. Most of it comes from the bezel up. I mean, that crystal is popping. Oh, it's so sweet. And it weighs 132 grams with all links sized for the previous reviewer, which was Pete with Chillin with Watches. What up, Pete? 142 grams with all links. Man, I want to measure that crown, too. I heard it's like 7.5, so let's see what we get. Yeah, 7.5 millimeters. Oh, and I didn't mention, so this is running the NH35A from Seiko Movements, 21,600 vibrations per hour, or 3 hertz, 41-hour power reserve, hacking and hand winding, and a minus 20 to plus 40 seconds per day accuracy rating, which, man, I mean, if you get one that's that bad, that's bad. I mean, to me, like 10 and 20 seconds, plus or minus a day is pretty rough for a NH35, but I've just had better luck with them, I guess. Man, I just want to play around on this dial for a while. Look at that. It's beautiful. That crystal just really amplifies all that's going on. And I got to admit, I've never been a fan of gilt dials. They just, I don't hate them, but just never been attracted to me. Well, that has all changed with this one. Now, obviously, this is a printed gilt. It's not a true gilt style. But the owner of Imperial, Ben, did play around with a true gilt process when he was developing this watch. So that's what gave him the idea to go forward with this dial pattern and design. Look at those curves. I mean, from the curve of the bezel, you can see that high slope, like I said, where we gained some height just from the bezel, then right up to that dome crystal. Oh, that is so kick-ass. All right, since we got a dive-style bezel, let's give it a crank. Oh, good reaction. Easy to grab from the sides here. You can see the coin edge bezel there sticks out away from the case just a touch. So you've got a chance to grab it here and there. A little less real estate where the end links are, but turns nice and easily. Tactile clicks. You want to hear it? And there is a little bit of back play, you see there, and I'm told that the difference in the production models between those and this prototype is that will be remedied, so it'll be definitely less back play and a little more snappy on the clicks. Wow, that's nice. Super bright green going on that bad boy. And you see, as I mentioned, this is an aluminum bezel insert, so you've just got that round pip up there at the top, and now at the 12 position. So that is your only lume on the bezel. But look at that dial. I love the triangle markers. And you can see that second hand floating around with its lollipop cresting over the indices. Looks to be just a slightly different color on the handset versus the dial. You catching that too? I've only spotted it right there when that second hand was rolling around. But I can see a little bit of difference here on the minute hand, possibly the hour hand as well. Definitely looks like an all-nighter. Okay, I think I should try it on. I'm wearing the Boulder Odyssey 45, like I mentioned earlier, 500-meter dive watch, helium escape valve. Full review on this one right here if you want to check out more on this. Well, would you look at that? So that is 38 millimeters on 8-inch wrist. So normally kind of too small for me. I'm more in the nothing under 40 range. But there's a few where I can get away with it. I think this is definitely one of them. Don't have it sized yet, but you know that's coming. I love the high polish on the edge of the bracelet links. Very cool look. I mean, you notice on the watch there's nothing else, no other high polish, except for that slight little chamfer there. I even kind of almost missed that when we were looking at the watch earlier. Look at that, just a very sliver of high polish. That is very nice finishing. And you know, I just realized too, it just kind of occurred to me that this is a no date dial, but that's an NH35 inside, so we probably do have a ghost date position. And let's check it out. First click, yep. So ghost date, kind of a bummer. But look how far that crown sticks out. I like that. That's easy to grip. So how do you get your hands on this watch? All right, so they're already in production, started September 2022, but they're not in-house and delivering yet. Expected to ship out starting January 2023 to those that purchase this watch. Pre-orders are going to open up on October 25th. And that'll start at $350 US, and that includes free shipping to the US only for the pre-orders as well. And to get things rolling, the first 25 watches that are sold are going to include a additional custom leather strap. So just those first 25 watches, that ought to get the ball rolling, and then get other people psyched and interested in this as well. But $350 US for the pre-orders. You can find that pre-order info and availability and all that comes with the watch on their website, which is imperialwatchco.com. A link is down below in the description. So I kind of think of this as a skin diver versus a dive watch full on. But what do you think? I mean, just to me, it's kind of hard to define that. I guess it's a little loosey-goosey term. But just being its smaller size, the lower water resistance rating, though 200 meters is nothing to laugh about. And normally it would be a thinner profile, I imagine, too. But this is just a touch chunky. But I guess it's just more about that vintage look. It looks like a vintage skin diver to me. Give me your thoughts. Hit the comment section down below and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you along for the ride. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm Whit with so many watches, so little time and money.